Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh by Shemiah Shai by Shomakakwadash. I'm not going to make this long at all. I'm going to title this Credit Suisse Collapses. So what I did was I typed in Credit Suisse, and then it said collapse. So I clicked on that. This is on YouTube. And then I went to the filters and I went to the last videos that were put in within the last hour. Because when I first put it in, most of these breaking news videos of the Credit Suisse goes back 8 to 10 hours. And they were talking about it this morning on the financial news on the, excuse me, on a CBM, CNBC, which is a cable station. Own mother company is NBC. Excuse me, forgive me. Anyway, it says, give me a second. I'm back, but anyway, so as you can see, it says Credit Suisse shares plunge amid bank sector fears. Now, mind you that Credit Suisse Bank is a bank located in Zurich, Switzerland, in Europe. I believe Switzerland, I don't know if Switzerland is an EU and a NATO, members of the EU and NATO, or just one or the other. I mean, I can look it up. You can look it up. No big deal. And now the president, Joe Biden, said as of, what was it, Sunday, Monday, he said, you don't have to worry about your money if you have money in the SVB bank. Your money's protected. Yeah, that's if you have 250,000 or less. Anything over that is not protected. So I don't know if he's going to actually bail the bank out and help the people and whatever. All he has to do is go to the magic money machine and print more money, which in turn raises prices on everything across the board. So it says Credit Suisse shares plunge amid bank sector fears. So he said, don't have fear, but now it's gone beyond the US. It's in Europe now, it's in Switzerland. It says right here, bank run. If you look up the word bank run, if you put run, you put in run in front of bank, that's the definition for a bank run. You are running to the bank. So when they say bank run, that means they're running to the bank to get their money. bank runs spreads to Europe from the U.S. from this one little humble bank in the U.S. on the west coast of the U.S., a Silicon Valley bank, and they're looking for buyers. See what happens when a bank suffers a collapse or when they lose, when people cash in, banks and other corporations they're in power because of people that invest by way of shares. So when people sell their shares, nobody's buying. That's also a bank run too. The company being a bank, and then it causes the stock to go down, and then it causes a fear where nobody wants to invest. If I guarantee you, I'm positive, when people were lined up to get their money from the SVB bank or the SVB, there was nobody on that line waiting online to deposit money. They can see. You don't have to be a rocket science to see that bank is collapsing. And if it doesn't get any help from the Feds, and the Fed helped them by closing them down. It says bank run spreads to Europe. So it jumped from the US all the way to Europe. Credit Suisse collapses. Remember, this is a bank company based in Zurich, Switzerland. And I'm going to bring you one scripture, but I'm going to read two versions of the scripture. I'm going to read it in the KJV, and the NLT. Credit Suisse is a bank in search of a business. They're looking for somebody to bail them out. They're looking for a bigger bank to buy them out, which will in turn save the bank. They don't want to go full belly up, meaning they don't want to go complete bankrupt. And bankrupt means just that. Bankrupt, when something blows up, it erupts. So a bankrupt is the bank erupted. It's gone. It's finished. It exploded. It's belly up. It's dead. Credit Suisse concerns mount for banks. So this is a scare to other banks. Can't wait till tomorrow morning. Most High willing, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Ratazar. First thing I'm gonna do is first thing in the morning, I'm gonna put it on the CNBC. Look at this. This was as of 10 minutes ago. And they've been talking about this all day. And I believe it was Kiyosaki. I believe he made a statement. I could be wrong. I was listening to Rethink the Dollar with Mike. And I believe he mentioned that Kiyosaki, the rich man, poor man guy, he said that the next bank to suffer loss, to go belly up or in danger of going bankrupt, he did mention Credit Suisse. And I believe even, what's this guy? Schiff, what's his first name? Michael Schiff, I think. He's a financial guy. He's into gold and silver. He always tells you to run the gold and silver as a hedge against inflation and crashes. Gold and silver does not crash. And banks don't deal with gold and silver. They deal with digital notes, paper notes, which is not real money. So Credit Suisse turmoil. That's on Bloomberg Television. That's another. You got Yahoo Finance. These are all the finance companies. Now, did they mention CNBC or NBC? Okay, this is CBS Evening News. Trading Eternity, Yahoo Finance. Okay, you even got Fox Business, Traders Panic. This was as of 46 minutes ago. Traders Panic, Credit Suisse crisis is a Lehman moment. Experts say Lehman goes back to the Lehman Brothers. So this happened. When did this happen? This was what was this 19? They're the whole Lehman Brothers. You can look that up when they went belly up. J J.P. Morgan. He mentioned J.P. Morgan and other banks. You know, old banks die and new banks come along. Like Wells Fargo, they talking about Wells Fargo, and I deal with Wells Fargo. I check my account. My account is good. Okay, this is a another country. Crisis dos bancos. You know, crisis, bank crisis. Credit Suisse. I don't know the rest of this. It started. Total banking collapse explained. This is as of 52 minutes ago. So you might want to watch this guy. This is Fox 32 Chi-Town, Chicago. More economic uncertainty as shares of another big bank take dip, and somebody's got to save it. Now, remind you, Joe Biden, the president, said everything's going to be all right. Everything's not going to be all right. See, this creates a panic. People are saying, should I go and get my money out of this particular bank? This was as of 15 minutes ago. What will happen when Credit Suisse crashes? Shares in the Swiss, like Zurich, Switzerland, that's where the bank is, it was founded. Shares in the Swiss bank Credit Suisse plunged, dragging down other European lenders, banks, other European. There's a fear out there. This is when Edomites jump off of jump out of windows. You know, you worth $10 billion, and then you're down to $50 million. You might as well be a homeless person. You might as well just say, "So long, cruel world." What the Silicon Valley Bank, Credit Suisse, and Blackstone have in common. Banking crisis and market update March 15, 2023, Credit Suisse news. So now I'm going to go into, okay, wait a minute, RTD with Mike is on right now, is live. The Hangout, crucial shift ahead, banking, geopolitics, and society. Let's talk. So he should have a real interesting show. Timcast IRL, Fifth Bank collapsing, San Francisco Bank plans, sales as Credit Suisse falling. Another one you can check out. So now if you go to Google and you go to news, CNN, why banking fares just came roaring back. Mind you, what the Joe Biden said. Nobody trusts Joe Biden. When Joe Biden made that statement, nobody believed him. So now he has to eat his words. It's like this place is not looking good. This is prophecy coming to pass. This is going to lead to you know what? Swiss Central Bank says it will help Credit Suisse if necessary. Swiss Central Bank those financial lifeline to Credit Suisse after shares pummeled. Gold rallies over 1% as Credit Suisse crisis hits risk appetite. That was CNBC. You had Reuters. That's also a financial news station. Gold rallies over 1%. Now, gold is a whole nother subject. Gold is a whole nother subject. And that's what you should have been into, gold and silver. Gold price forecast. What is that? XAU, USD, US dollar. Bullseye's 2023 top as Credit Suisse turmoil drowns. So now let me go into the scriptures. And I'm going to read this in the NLT. Habakkuk 2, and let's start from, and we may go to the King James. I will climb up to my watchtower. Who sits on the watchtower? The prophets. Everything that happens in the news, we speak on it, right? So I went into this whole banking situation, and I'm filtering it through the scriptures. It says, I will climb, and that's an indication that this place is going through turmoil. It's also an indication that they're going to replace this current system. That's what the Great Reset was all about. They talked about at the last major World Economic Forum, because they want to introduce you to a new system. It says, I will stand up to my watchtower. See, when you hear the call and you're recruited by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you got to get on your watchtower. You do work. So when we go out there and we prophesy, we do these sit downs, we're standing on our watchtower and stand at my guard post. There I will wait to see what the Lord Yahweh says and how he will answer my complaint, because we're complaining too. That cry inside for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So we wait, we're crying to the Most High, and the Most High is giving us an answer. The Lord, or Yahweh's second reply. Then Yahweh said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets. And this is what, we don't do any writing. The prophets did all the writing, and we are prophets coming back, giving the answers. The prophets of old wrote the prophecies down, didn't understand them. We understand them perfectly. Read that again, second verse. Then Yahweh said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Joel, Ezekiel, Zechariah, Obadiah. How you living? I had to throw that in as an inside joke. That joke goes way back before a lot of you was even born. So that a runner can carry the correct message to others. You do you know anything about the Battle of Marathon and why they call the 26 plus mile race a marathon? It goes back to the time of King Leonidas. There was a battle that was won by the Spartans, the Greeks, so you can understand. And this one runner had to run until the top man, I believe it was a king or whatever, that they won. They couldn't get on the phone. You know, they didn't have beepers, they didn't have smartphones. So they had runners. So this guy would have to run. He ran for 26, a little bit more than 26 miles. And he said, Nike, Nike, which means victory, victory. And he dropped dead. So basically, we are those runners. We were the writers in the past. We wrote these prophecies on tablets or on paper, on parchment, on scroll, whatever you want to call it, and we gave it to the messenger. So we are the messengers. We are the messengers. We are the messengers. Everything is reincarnated. So they the runner. So we're the runners now can carry the correct message to others. Mind you, the correct message, not the false message. This vision is for a future time. It describes the end of what? Esau's end. And it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, a lot of people have fallen off because it's too slow in coming. They got tired of waiting. Wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. And how do we know that it's not going to be delayed? Because we see the prophecies happening every day. When the Israelites took the land of the Canaanites, they didn't take it in one day. The scriptures say in Deuteronomy 7, it says the Most High is going, I'm paraphrasing, the Most High is going to take these Canaanites down little by little. Matter of fact, let me do this. Excuse me. Don't put it in that way. Let's see if it comes up. Yep, it comes up. Deuteronomy 7, verse 22. And Yahweh thy power will put out those nations, the Canaanites, before thee by little and little. Thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon thee, increase upon you. Let's read that in the, it's 22. Let's see how that sounds in the NLT. The Lord power, Yahweh, your power will drive those nations out ahead of you little by little. You will not clear them away all at once. Otherwise, the wild animals would multiply too quickly for you. So now let's come back over here. Look at the proud. We know who the proud are. They trust in themselves. They don't trust in the Most High. And that's why a lot of them jumping out of damn buildings head first. Look at them. Look at Edomites. When you go take the train, look at Edomites jumping in front of trains. because they all got insurance policies for their wives and their children. They had this special years ago on HBO about suicide, and it was all Edomites. These guys, they would get an insurance policy because they ain't doing so good. They get an insurance policy for their wife and their kids, and they will kill themselves. But now, if they find out that you committed suicide, you don't get no money. Now, there's one cracker, there's one devil. He was on some beach, and he had I believe he had a nine mil, and he had a balloon tied to it, and he shot himself in the head. And of course, you're gonna let go of the gun, and the gun's gonna float away. But something happened. I think a bird hit it, and the balloon went back down, and it landed right next to that devil. So they said, they told the wife, "I'm sorry, he committed suicide, so you don't get none of the money." So that's what you get, devil. Maybe you should have jumped out. Maybe you should have jumped out of a building. But that's suicide too. I hate to be the one you commit suicide to. Had to throw that in there too. It says, look at the proud. They trust in themselves, and their lives are crooked, but the righteous will live by their faithfulness. We're a faith-based organization to the Most High. Wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant, the proud, are never at rest. They can never have enough. They open their mouth as wide as the grave, and like death, showing you that grave and death is synonymous. And that word in the King James is hell. They what does it say? And they are as death. They Matter of fact, let me double check that. Baby, for a minute. Here it comes. This is in the King James. Ye also, because ye transgress against wine, your philosophies, your policies, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and as death. So hell and death are synonymous. When you die, they put you in the pit. The word here for hell is sha'awal or she'al, which means the pit, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, one world rulership, and heapeth unto him all people, one world rulership. It says here in the sixth verse, shall not all these take up a parable against him? These people are helping you go down. They're saying, yeah, you're going down, devil. Let's help this devil go down. And a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. The word there is Elder Monagon did a video on it a couple of days ago. And the title was Ibadyat. The word clay, you got the Hebrew word Ibadyat, and the word Ibadyat means heavy depth. They tell you that the depth clock says 31, 32 trillion. It's more like 230 or almost 250 trillion. It cannot be paid off. That's why the Most High put in the law the year of release and the Jubilee year, which these devils don't apply. That's why their system is fucked up. And a Jubilee year and a year of release is what? A reset. Everything is reset. That's why they're calling for a reset. A bunch of dummies. Let me read this again, the fifth verse. Wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant or proud are never at rest. They can never have enough. They open their mouth as wide as the grave, which is hell, and like death, they are never satisfied. In their greed, they have gathered up many nations and swallowed many people. But soon their captives will taunt them. Ooh, but soon their captives will taunt them. Every nation is under this man's system. Every nation is under this man in one way or another. They call the shots. It says they will mock them, saying, the people will mock them. What sorrow awaits you, thieves? Now you will get what you deserve. You become rich by extortion. But how much longer can this go on? Not long. Beautiful precept comes to mind is James 5. Woe to now, ye rich men. Go to now, ye rich men. Suddenly your debtors will take action. They will, hey, you got the whole thing with reparation out there in San Francisco. They got a proposal to give those Jakes in San Fran to give their first check, their first installment is $5 million for each Jake out there. So now if that happens, they're going to go to New York. Well, even the New York governor is talking about that, giving out reparations. They ain't going to say, okay, we're going to give you 500. No, we ain't getting no 500,000. San Fran is getting first check at 5 million. That's them Joe 20 that their children shall seek to please the poor. They know something's coming down the pike. That's why they're trying to appease Jake now. You know, we'll take that. Jake is going to take that check and give you the finger. It says, suddenly your debtors will take action because you owe us. You owe us. We are the creditors. You are the debtors. You're indebted to us. They will turn on you and take all you have. Take us for all we got. While you stand trembling and helpless. Because when you go down, the dark nations, this is what I used to say, the dark nation, talking about all the nations, including Israel, they're going to help you go down. Because you have plundered many nations. Now all the survivors will plunder you. You commit murder throughout the countryside or the world, the fields of the world, and fill the towns with violence. Oh, I got to read the 9th verse. I said I was going to make this short. What sorrow awaits you who build big houses, the McMansions, summer homes in Italy, you know, the regular home in the Hampton East, in the Hamptons, with money gained dishonestly. Everything that you got, you stole. You believe your wealth will buy security, putting your family's nest beyond the reach of danger. No. Jake is going, wherever you at, the dark nations are going to get you. But by the murders you committed, you have shamed your name and forfeited your lives. Ooh. Ooh. I got to read a couple more verses and I'm going to close. The very stones in the walls cry out against you, and the beams and the ceilings echo the complaint. Now that happened in Turkey when them buildings were falling. That's the fulfillment. That was fulfilled in Turkey. That's from the missiles dropping. That's from the world quaking. What sorrow awaits you? Who builds cities, Malachi 1, with money gained through murder and corruption. Everything that you do, one way or another. Well, no, I didn't do any wrong, but your father did the murdering and you know, robbed nations. So you're accessories to the crime. Either way, you're gonna pay. Anyway, you can read the rest of this. Well, let me jump around to the 15th verse. What sorrow awaits you who make your neighbors drunk? Ooh, what does that mean? Committed fornication, right? That's in Revelation. You force your cup on them. Or that's going on in certain African countries. You forcing that mo thing on them, the alphabet thing on them. And they're saying no. So you can gloat over their shameful nakedness. But soon it will be your turn to be disgraced. Come drink and be exposed. Come drink and be exposed. Drink from the cup of Yahweh's judgment, poured out without mixture. And all your glory will be turned to shame. In the King James, it says, and shameful spewing shall be upon your glory. You cut down the forests of Lebanon, not just Lebanon, Brazil. Brazil is the lungs of the earth. And you cut down all those, what is it called? Deforestation. So you done fucked up the whole earth. You know you done fucked up, Esau. Now you will be cut down. You destroyed the wild animals. So now their terror will be yours. You committed murder throughout the countryside, the world, and filled the towns with violence. Now, this goes into your religious system. What good is an idol carved by man or a cast image that deceives you? How foolish to trust in your own creation, a God that cannot even talk. Now it says in the King James, it says, "In a teacher of idol and a teacher of lies." See that's what vocab is. He has idols. His idol is that Christianity, and he tells you a bunch of lies. What sorrow awaits you who say to the wooden idols, "Awake, wake up and save us." To speechless stone images, you say, "Rise up and teach us." Can an idol tell you what to do? And that's big in the RCC. They may be overlaid with gold and silver, but they are lifeless inside. But Yahweh is in his holy temple. Let all the earth be silent before him. Now, you know what I got to do? Let me go to the 18th verse in the King James. What profit a graven image that the maker thereof hath given it, the molten image and a teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusteth therein to make dumb idols. Now, if you go to Revelation, real quick, that comes to mind. Revelation 16, not 13. Revelation 16. Revelation 16 and 13. I should start up above that. Anyway, it says, oh, you know what I got to do? I'm sorry. Let me jump up here. Let me go to the let me go to the first verse. I'm gonna just jump around. I'll be finishing a minute or two. Revelation 16 and 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your ways, pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore, a putrefying sore, upon the men, meaning men, women, and children, which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. And that word mark is charagma. Charagma is a physical thing. Charagma, the word charagma, Greek, is not a spiritual thing. It's not sin of all forms, whether it be political or religious. No, it's an actual physical thing when they set up the Great Reset. They're going to do away with this current money system, and everything is going to be digital, which is called a CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. It's going to go on your smartphones as an app or a QR code, and then eventually it'll go into your body. That's what I believe he was the CEO of Nokia. He said it at the World Economic Forum meeting, because they have different, it goes on for like a week, if I'm not mistaken. And he mentioned it. He said the thing that's in your phone is going to go into your body. He didn't say hand, forehead. He said the thing that's in your phone is going to go into your body. That's what you call what do you call it? What is it? Bio something. Damn, I can't even think of the word. Biometrics. Anytime you hear the word bio, that's Latin for the body. Metrics means measure. So everything is going to be measured in your body. Oh, right here, it speaks about Euphrates being dried up, that the way the kings of the east might be prepared. That's all in the news. The Euphrates is drying up. Now, one of the brothers did a video where they showed a map at the dry portion, the drought portion of the river, and there was not a omega, an omega, which is the last Greek alphabet. It looks like a horseshoe. If you look up pictures of the Euphrates, there's one part of it where it looks like a horseshoe. I'm not going to go to it. I'll go to it and check it out for myself after. So it says the angels, it speaks about the angels, the four archangels being in the great river, the river Euphrates, is also in Revelation chapter 9. It started the 12th verse. It said, and I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. The dragon is interchangeable with the beast, so the dragon is a Roman Empire. It's talking about the elite behind the scenes, and out of the mouth of the beast, we tell you what the beast is. It's NATO and the EU, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. This is why I went from Habakkuk 2:18, and the mouth of the false prophet, the teacher of lies, to give you dumb idols and have a teacher of lies with it. That's the religious setup that this man set up, starting with the RCC. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.